Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Soil, kind of a unique series that's running on Netflix about Muslims who run kind of a funeral service. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 8. Now available. Sold some books today. Thank you, Lotus Eaters fans. If you didn't check out the Lotus Eaters, I have 2 comments today. One that I did, and one I did a collaboration with one of the other commenters who's known as Based Ape. And we did a little funny thing together. So check that out if you watch the Lotus Eaters. It's free. It's free to watch. So you can check them out on Odysee or on their page, thelotuseaters.com. Now, the series here is about 2 young guys who run a funeral service. Now, it's tradition that when funerals are big in Muslim culture. You can't mess around. They're very religious. And you have to go in the ground fairly quickly, and they repatriate people. So that you got to go back to be buried in your home soil, as well as I think you have to be buried within a certain time period as well. So they get this idea, instead of dragging the bodies, they're Moroccan, instead of dragging the bodies all the way back to Morocco, what they do instead, they're in Belgium, they go to Morocco and import the soil back to Belgium. They fill up a coffin, I think, after taking somebody over there, and so then you could be buried in Belgium, but you're technically surrounded by Moroccan soil. But this opens up all sorts of questions, which apparently, this would be something that someone who's Muslim would contemplate, right? It'd be like, well, is that technically okay, within the Muslim faith? Have they found a loophole? So it's a comedy because they end up losing a body and all sorts of other things happen. So it's called Soil, but apparently they start making all sorts of insane amounts of money because I gotta imagine it's very expensive, especially if you're an immigrant, you came to a Western nation, and then your relative dies and you got to take them all the way back to Morocco. That's kind of a big expense, but it would be a lot cheaper, although still, these guys would make money to just bury them wherever you are, but just use their imported dirt. So I think that's kind of a cool concept. It starts March 17th on Netflix, and usually when Netflix acquires something, it's usually pretty good from another country, because it kind of has to be. Netflix wouldn't bother. The bar's pretty high. They're not going to buy nothing. They tend to buy things. They tend to just skim the cream of the crop, right? I mean, who's outbidding Netflix on a Moroccan TV series? Not too many people. And I don't think they made it for Netflix. I think they made it for whatever TV situation is in Morocco or Belgium. So obviously it's going to be a lot of languages there. Going to be a lot of languages in Belgium. So it's subtitled, but I find the whole concept pretty interesting because it's also not only is a comedy, but it also gives you insight. He hasn't got corona in his lungs, but in his brain. Ha! That's a funny line. It gives you insight into the culture, because you have to understand the basics of the Moroccan culture in order to understand what the hell's going on with the plot. So, and I feel that narratives that teach you something are often very engaging, because you're like, oh, okay, interesting, while you're watching it, right? So, yeah, this is a TV series, I believe. It I don't know why they don't just say it. It says premiere, so usually means a series, but why wouldn't you tell us, Netflix? Why wouldn't you put that on here? TV series or movie. It could be a movie. I don't know. It's on the IMDb, I think. No, wait, I was looking up a different movie. Let's see. IMDb knows all. Oops, spelled soil wrong. IMDb knows all. Let's see if it's on here. Yeah, TV series. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, here it is. I don't know any of the people in this. So, how many episodes? Doesn't say. IMDb rates it 7.5, 7.7. So I think yeah. Oh, it's got 2 awards. What's the awards? Nominee for Best Cinematography and Best Leading Performance for a TV series. And it's also in a foreign language, so I'm not sure. I guess this is Belgium. Belgium, not the language of Belgium. Belgium doesn't have a language. I guess, what do they speak there? French? I think French. Anyhow, it shows you my ignorance of the rest of the world. That's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Thank you so much for buying my books. The links are in the description if you'd like to check out more. And we'll see you in the next one.